To perform our national anthem, please welcome Diana Hutchinson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may take your seats.
One of the most difficult years to date, from the global pandemic to the federal indictments of 3 council members. They face challenges most never expected to have to deal with.
I mean, it's hard to even remember. 4 years ago, the fear, the confusion, the unknowns, the pandemic pushed us inside. We lived masked, the toll it took on everyone. Our city stalled to a standstill. Even worse, City Hall was rocked by corruption.
4 city council members have been indicted on felony charges, including 3 for corruption charges. What will you do to restore trust in local government?
Tonight's breaking news, Aftab Pureval, you're looking at him. He is the mayor-elect of Cincinnati.
For this group, it's all about life experience and background, with each person bringing a different skill set and passion to the table. The Democrats say serious changes in Cincinnati.
I'm excited that there's a new council. I'm excited to turn the page on this ugly chapter in Cincinnati's history with the several indictments.
How do you rally a city? Through mistrust, through crises? These were generational challenges facing us. And from day one, our vision of recovery began with those hurt the most. That was always the mission.
I will serve you with a profound respect for the faith you've put in me. I will hold our vision of a more equitable Cincinnati in the center of my heart, and I will work hard every day to make you proud of our city. I will not waste this opportunity. I will not waste it.
You look at where we began, it's remarkable, truly. Any one of those crises would have crushed our city's progress. Then when you think about where we are now, not only did we tackle generational challenges, but we made generational change. Over the past 4 years, we built a city that transforms its antiquated systems for a new generation. We completely rezoned to triple affordable housing development.
At the heart of this work is a core purpose: to build a city where people want to live, where they can afford to live.
Freeing our city for growth, for progress, for investment. Over the past 4 years, we built a city that secured the largest federal infrastructure grant in American history. over $1.6 billion to finally fix the Brent Spence Bridge. Over the past 4 years, we built a city that erased more than $200 million of medical debt for over 100,000 Cincinnatians. We expanded safety nets for those struggling to choose between gas and groceries, medicine, or meals. Now our city is freeing itself from the vicious cycle of poverty, erasing medical debt, property debts, and fighting to expand housing and food stability. And we invested in the next generation, launching baby bond savings account, providing preschool children with the money to one day pay for higher education. Over the past 4 years, we didn't just promise progress, we delivered. Now our city is free to grow, to invest over $500 million into reimagining downtown. Today, we stand with the mandate to continue transforming our city to work for the many, not for the few.
Now introducing the 70th mayor of Cincinnati, Ohio, Mayor Aftab Pureval.
Good evening, good evening. Thank you guys, thank you. Please have a seat. I'm sure many of you have Nas tickets you want to get to. But thank you all so much for being here. Such an honor. Cincinnati, thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining us this evening. You know, 4 years ago, I and many of us here tonight were spending our winter planning a transition into our offices, into the most important jobs we had ever taken on. 4 years and 1,000 gray hairs later, it is an extraordinary and humbling privilege to have the opportunity to look back on how far we've come and simultaneously look ahead to our next chapter together as a city. Cincinnati, it has been truly the honor of my life to go to work every day, knowing that I am surrounded by this unstoppable community of partners, of neighborhood and business leaders, workers, and the 6,000 city employees who show up to make our city the best that it can be. And that includes our wonderful city council, both the sitting members who are actively engaged in our shared mission and those who have moved on. So I'd like to begin by recognizing my partners. Vice Mayor Jem Michelle Lemon-Kearney, please stand. President Pro Tem Victoria Parks. Council Member Scotty Johnson. Council Member Evan Nolan. Council Member Mika Owens. Council Member Anna Albee. Council Member Jeff Kramerding. Council Member Mark Jeffries. And Council Member Seth Walsh. Thank you all for sustaining that applause for so long. And thank you all for being here tonight. I also want to recognize some of our colleagues from the past who also share in the 4 years of impact that this group has done together. Congressman Greg Landsman, former Councilmember Reggie Harris, and former Councilmember Liz Keating. Let's give them a round of applause as well. Look, these past 4 years have been extraordinary, but they've also been a long road. They haven't always been an easy road. But in the wake of existential threats to our economy, of severe blows to our community's trust in local government, each of these elected officials and the staff supporting them stepped into their roles and chose to serve with integrity, with intention, and with a spirit of cooperation and action. This is a unique evening, as many of our colleagues will be returning, and we will not be taking our foot off the gas on the progress that we have built. But we have one colleague who is taking a well-earned retirement, and it is my pleasure to begin this evening recognizing her lifetime of service to our community. President Pro Tem Parks, if you'll join me on stage, please. President Parks is President Pro Tem on council. She is formerly a Hamilton County Commissioner, also formerly Chief of Staff to former Commissioner and legend Todd Portune, and also a veteran of our armed services in support of our country. Her service to not just this city, this county, this region, but the entire country is admirable. And we are all better as a region because of her service. So to honor her, it's my honor to give you, President Pro Tem Parks, a key to the city. Congratulations. I'll hold this. Would you like to say anything?
Wow, didn't see this coming, but it's been such an honor. I am so touched and excited for my for my next stage. But I want you to know that the council that is going to remain, their hearts are in this. They truly love serving Cincinnati. It's their honor, as it has been mine. So I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity, and I'll be watching. God bless you. Just God bless you. Thank you. Okay, thanks.
Apparently this is her favorite song, so this all worked out. Thank you, President Parks, and congrats again on such an incredible career. Cincinnati, it is thanks to the employees who show up each day, the public servants who stepped up and chose progress, and the dreamers who move our mission along in every corner of our city, that I proudly say the state of the city is strong, and because of all of your hard work, it is getting stronger. The past 4 years have been defined by the fact that we, all of us, inside and outside City Hall, have been unafraid to take big swings. We talked a great deal upon taking office about the crossroads we faced as a community, the dire economic pressures brought on by COVID, the hollowing out of urban cores in cities like ours around the country, the existential housing and affordability crises that had left Cincinnati leading the nation in rent increases year after year, and the lasting impact of an unacceptable racial wealth gap, of systemic barriers that for far too long have held many of our neighbors back from accessing the opportunities that we know we all deserve. It was not our goal with this short time in office to simply address the problems of the day and keep the ship steady. No, it was our goal to shake things up and meet the moment with the urgency it demanded, that residents throughout our neighborhoods demanded. We still have a long road to go together, but I'm proud that we have done exactly that, and the results are all around us. We've made a collective and intentional choice in Cincinnati to grow, to ensure there is a strong central engine driving our economy, to unlock the potential of our underinvested neighborhoods, and to build a city with the jobs, the housing options, and the core services our residents expect. And the choices we've made are reshaping the foundations of Cincinnati as we speak. In January, in just 2 months, the Convention Center reopens after a nearly $300 million renovation. We know that attracting visitors into our city is a necessary part of the entire region's success. This investment puts us back in the game in a dramatic way to attract visitors from around the nation and reaffirm that we belong on the world stage. The latest projected annual impact of a state-of-the-art convention center is just as important. But even more importantly, this is anchoring an entire district of investments, the likes of which Western Downtown has not seen in decades. This month, Elm Street Plaza opens, a brand new outdoor public commons in the convention district where residents will want to spend their time. We are just a few months away from construction beginning on the 700-room headquarter convention hotel, the first substantial addition to our skyline in years, and hopefully the first of more to come. Just down the road, we have fully filled the Foundry building right on top of Fountain Square. We have converted the Saks building, growing our economy by attracting Paycor to the heart of our downtown and providing the space for Salazar's signature new restaurant location on one of our busiest corners. Business and civic leaders are bought in on our downtown because they know that unlike many of our peer cities, we are growing and we are flourishing, and we're just getting started. A year into our first term, we welcomed President Joe Biden to town as he announced the single largest federal grant in our nation's history. The Brent Spence Corridor project spent more than 20 years as an idea on a piece of paper. Now, next year, major construction begins. Beyond the historic impact of the Companion Bridge itself, this project creates at least 700 quality trades jobs and launches the start of a transformational opportunity to better connect downtown, Queensgate, and the historic West End. Thanks to advocates outside and inside City Hall, particularly our Department of Transportation and Engineering, we have taken advantage of a generational opportunity to change the landscape of our urban core. 11 new acres of developable land, I can never say that word, developable land, right next to the new convention center. Plans to pedestrianize our overpasses and help stitch together neighborhoods that were torn apart by the construction of the highways of the past. On top of the momentum our downtown has already seen in recent years, we are in the midst of a golden opportunity to bring new life, new energy, and new connectivity to an historically underserved corner of our urban core. But this strategy of intentional growth has touched communities throughout Cincinnati. Earlier this year, we broke ground on the Finley Community Center, a brand new space to serve as a hub for North OTR, to provide high-quality after-school opportunities for our children, and to give families a safe place to come together and build community. But further than that, the community center is a chance to catalyze even more investment with new housing, new programming, and new businesses following an investment of this magnitude. We all see the promise of North OTR's future, and this is, at its core, an investment in moving toward our primary goal in every part of our city, helping create the foundations for safe, healthy, thriving communities where folks of all backgrounds can take part. We are not letting up on these strategies, whether it's the investments into Avondale Town Center or the upcoming community engagement and planning around our council's $7 million investment in reimagining the Swifton Commons site in Bond Hill. These are the kinds of large-scale, thoughtful, and community-focused swings we have to take if we want to create transformational change in our neighborhoods, meeting the urgency of the moment and working with our partners and neighborhoods to get things built. That's exactly how our administration and council have approached the housing crisis during our first term. I think everyone in town has heard me get on my soapbox about housing, but I cannot overstate how central this work has been to our broader mission of building vibrant neighborhoods, deconcentrating poverty, and expanding economic opportunity. Out of the gate, with the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, our council's investment in the first sustainable stream of revenue for affordable housing, the work of the Cincinnati Development Fund, and partners throughout our region, the decision to say yes, to lean in, and to make sure the dollars are there, have had a huge impact, tripling the rate of affordable housing production, of new quality homes for Cincinnati families. It is incredibly complicated, incredibly expensive, and incredibly difficult to get anything built. That's particularly true for truly affordable homes, and it's particularly true right now. We have seen this year, given the macroeconomic forces, tariffs, the skyrocketing cost of materials, that it's harder than ever. And that is all the more reason why it has been so critical to have a coordinated ecosystem in Cincinnati dedicated to making it happen. This year, thanks to our Department of Community and Economic Development's work with CDF to streamline and strengthen the applicant pool, more than double the number of new units received low-income housing tax credit awards. And thanks to our administration's prioritization, 3 times the number of units received funding under our NOFA program. Please applause for that. Unfortunately, local governments do not have the resources to move the needle of the market with our dollars alone. That is exactly why we work to reform our residential abatement incentives to shift incentives towards underinvested neighborhoods. And it's exactly why city leaders and our city planning team took on the 2-year engagement process that resulted in Connected Communities, Cincinnati's first comprehensive reform of our zoning and land use in generations. This is complicated work, but out of it came a new system that makes it easier to bring more homes and more affordable types of homes to our business district, that helps us make the most out of Metro's bus rapid transit expansion by encouraging investments along our major transit lines, and that hopefully creates the kinds of neighborhoods residents throughout our city want to live in. Through Connected Communities, the explicit goal is that projects can move forward with a faster timeline, with more certainty, and with more benefits to residents of all income levels. That is the vision. I want to reiterate that it is a choice to grow and to be thoughtful about what that growth looks like. And it's also a choice to do nothing. We've made some difficult decisions. We've made decisions that upset some of our residents. But doing something meaningful will necessarily come with conflicting opinions, especially when it comes to building, to deconcentrating poverty, and to creating the foundations our next generation need and deserve. We need to keep everyone at the table. We need to make sure the voices that too often don't get heard are listened to, and ultimately, we need to have the courage of our convictions. That is what I firmly believe you have seen from us over the past 4 years. We will continue to work toward our ambitious housing goal of 40,000 new units established under Council Member Mark Jeffries and colleagues' analysis of our local shortage. We will have the tough conversations we need to have, and we will maintain the humbleness to adjust and solve problems when we're faced with them. Because I firmly believe that we have no other choice if we want to thrive as a city in the next generation. Tackling these systems level changes our city faces has been at the forefront of these past 4 years. When we took office, we faced an underfunded pension. Because of our council's reform of the closeout budgeting process to ensure that housing and our pension are our top priorities, this year brings us to $17 million additional dollars contributed to the health of our pension. This will make sure that employees who make this city run are taken care of. And right now, we are actively working with retirees and partners to build a path towards a fully funded pension. This has been a key focus of the Futures Commission, and solving it will have a significant impact on our fiscal health. When we took office, we walked into a staggering deferred capital maintenance bill. Underfunded roads, underfunded facilities, where our employees perform essential basic services, underfunded rec centers, and public spaces our residents depend on every day. Because of the sale of the railroad and the $1.8 billion railway trust, we've been able to invest $60 million more over just the first 2 years of returns, more than doubling the previous lease payment and empowering us to make major improvements to our existing infrastructure, particularly in the areas in most need of investment. That includes the Dunham Rec Center in West Price Hill, a nearly 100-year-old facility that is now getting a needed renovation to be the kind of welcoming space our children and families rely on. And it includes community projects throughout our neighborhoods, a core priority Councilmember Seth Walsh has worked to advance. Thanks to the Railway Trust, we were able to boost facility improvements for fire, police, and public services, and we were able to double our investments in paving and rehabilitating our roads. These problems won't get solved overnight with spending increases alone, and I understand that many have not yet seen or felt the impact. But these funds empower us to put Cincinnati back on the path towards ensuring the strongest and most reliable existing infrastructure possible is right here at home. Something I'm sure folks have noticed, we've put a lot of speed bumps everywhere. Our city has installed over 150 traffic calming improvements on our streets over the last 4 years. I will pause for your boos. Plain and simple, we have done this, and we will keep doing this because it works. On our biggest problem roads, we have seen dramatic reductions in speeding after improvements. A 20-mile-an-hour reduction in average speed on Hamilton Avenue and College Hill after installing speed cushions, and an 87% decrease in the number of drivers speeding on Glenway and West Price Hill. I did not see you guys clapping for speed humps. I did not see that coming. That was a curveball. Additionally, when we took office, we faced an operating deficit that depended on federal American Rescue Plan funds to fill. Because of our administration under City Manager Long's leadership, the work of our council, and the process led by Councilmember Jeff Cramerding, we delivered a structurally balanced budget without ARP dollars. It is a fundamental challenge of government, even when it is not a time of economic uncertainty, to find efficiency without sacrificing services. There will continue to be challenges ahead as costs rise faster than revenues. But we have been committed to maintaining our financial health while we continue to invest in our values and our residents. In our first term, we put real dollars behind our equity goals, directly targeting the wealth gaps that have persisted historically in our communities. With the creation of the Financial Freedom Blueprint, we created a roadmap to support residents in overcoming the burdens that often hold them back from financial empowerment. And with the collaboration of our partners, the leadership of this council, and the tireless work of so many in our city administration, we have been aggressive in establishing and funding programs aimed at the barriers our residents identified and aimed at supporting them through this affordability crisis. 1 out of every 3 residents we surveyed were affected by medical debt. And through our medical debt relief program, a $1.45 million city investment led to the erasure of more than $200 million in medical debt for 1/3 of Cincinnati residents. 100,000 Cincinnatians, neighbors of ours, whose lives have been changed on a deeply human level. When we had the chance to hear from Lois from Westwood, she said it was like a weight had been lifted off her shoulders because of the impact her debt had had on her personal credit. The Financial Freedom Blueprint identified the significance of the education gap in our community. This council and administration, in partnership with Fifth Third and Preschool Promise, established the Child Savings Account Plan, which to date has enrolled over 50 preschoolers into a college savings plan with a seed deposit of $153 and the opportunity to earn another $400 in the first year. I want to, yes. I want to thank Councilmember Evan Nolan for stepping in and getting right to work, helping move this to the finish line. And central to economic empowerment is housing stability. To date, our Access to Counsel program, led by Councilmember Owens in partnership with Legal Aid, United Way, and the County Help Center, has helped serve over 800 children and families facing eviction with legal and rental assistance. Keeping people in their homes so a child can focus on learning and growing rather than whether their home is stable. None of this work is possible without the incredible city employees who work behind the scenes to establish partnerships and manage successful programs. To Tiffany Brown, who has stepped up incredibly to spearhead our financial freedom work in the Office of Opportunity, and of course, Deanna White, the Deanna White, leading our human services work. To everyone inside and outside City Hall furthering the mission, thank you so much for the extraordinary impact that you have made. But the work is not done. We are still in this affordability crisis. We still are dealing with so much of the challenges coming from DC, and that's why this next announcement is so important. Just this fall, we've launched a partnership with Kroger and the Winton Hills Community Council for a grocery delivery pilot program, providing free delivery and $100 a month in grocery credit for 200 Winton Hill residents. This project, which Councilmember Anna Albee and our Office of Opportunity helped lead the way on, is not only especially important given the uncertainty around federal benefits right now, but it is a thoughtful and critical new model for us to measure when it comes to addressing food accessibility. And it coincides with this year's Impact Award, a human services funding reform created under Councilmember Mika Owens' leadership to fund larger scale systems level approaches to our challenges, for a partnership with Cincinnati Children's and over a dozen community organizations to help expand access to quality food in high-risk communities through the creation of urban farms and grocery hubs. Put together, these initiatives represent a serious and thoughtful prioritization toward combating food insecurity among our most vulnerable neighbors. I am extremely proud of the work that we have done as a team together to chart the course that we are on. Our financial freedom initiatives are part of a broader strategy. In addition to our expansion of youth programming and career opportunities, our expansion of community grants through Safe and Clean and Boots on the Ground to not just promote vibrancy, but also, critically, to address safety. It is a sad reality that the root cause of so much of the violence we see is poverty. And since taking office, we have worked to disrupt and prevent violence at every stage and every level, in partnership with our police, our council, under Councilmember Scotty Johnson's leadership, and our community partners. That means delivering on the goals of the collaborative. It means, I think we can guess who started that applause. It means continuing to identify and address the pathways to violence. It means leaning into innovation, such as our alternative response to crisis initiative that established a non-police mental health response for some nonviolent 911 calls. And it means making sure our law enforcement have the resources, the training, the support, and the policies in place to protect our residents effectively. Ultimately, nothing else we do matters unless Cincinnatians feel safe going about their lives. And while I'm incredibly proud of the progress we've made and the strategies that we've implemented to deliver on our core responsibility to our city, progress is not the same thing as victory, particularly not when we've witnessed the challenges we've had this summer and fall, especially in our urban core, but also throughout our city. The violence we experienced is unacceptable, and it's especially unacceptable as it impacts our children. In City Hall, we have not and we will not relent on doing everything in our power to keep folks safe. There have been tough but necessary decisions around both police and non-police interventions this summer, implementing a curfew, boosting officer presence and bringing them out of their cars in our busiest areas, leaning into drones to support our law enforcement. In Cincinnati, we will keep building our investments in what is working, to be ready to adjust when needed, and to be responsive to the data and the lived experiences of our residents. Throughout these challenges, it has been an incredible inspiration to see so many residents, businesses, and community leaders come to the table. It will take all of us, and that includes every level of government, especially as we work to combat the universal accessibility of guns. We know we are capable of taking on complex challenges like this because we have done it. After years of advocacy by residents of Lincoln Heights, we came together with the county and got the Regional Safety Complex project done, a historic win for our police and county sheriff's office and a win for environmental justice. And it was thanks to our city, our county commissioners, our partners in the State House and the federal government, and of course, our very own Vice Mayor Jean-Michel Lemon-Kearney. Leaders from the community and of all levels of government coming together to tackle a problem that many believed could not be solved. That's been true of all of our local climate action as well. Green Cincinnati's Seeds of Change program has invested more than $500,000 into over 100 community-led sustainability projects in 47 of the 52 neighborhoods. From community gardens to microforests that soak up stormwater to training for green jobs of the future, these are direct investments in the residents on the ground, furthering environmental justice. Our 100-megawatt solar array came fully online this term, and we are already looking to expand. We are facing, as so many communities are throughout the state, an energy challenge. Many would say an energy crisis. In response, right now, our Office of Environment and Sustainability is working to finalize a contract for 10 megawatts of solar on the old Center Hill landfill. This will turn 65 acres of unused brownfield into enough clean energy to power 1,200 homes each year. Providing financial savings on electricity and eliminating 60,000 tons of carbon annually. What continues to give me confidence as it relates to our work to build an even safer and more successful city, and as it relates to all our work in the 4 years ahead, is that our local government, our partners, and our communities are filled with people who do not shy away from what is difficult. Time and time again, we have leaned in. We have accomplished extraordinary things. And in this moment, we are once again called by our residents to go further on our path and to do what it takes to create a brighter future. It's hard to fathom that I'm already halfway through my time as your mayor. And as we close the book on this first term and look ahead to the next, I've been thinking about the final promise I made during inauguration 4 years ago. I said, I will not waste this moment. In the grand scheme, we have a short amount of time in these roles. That's true for me, for my colleagues, for all of us. So we have to do what we can while we're here, to build things that outlast us, to create systems, make investments, plant seeds, and bring things to life that outlast us. The goal of this council and myself is to create life that will bloom far longer than our time here, that will thrive no matter who fills our seats down the line. That has been our North Star, and that will continue to be our North Star. In our next 4 years, we will make the most of the time we have. We will tackle our housing vision head on and maximize the promise of bus rapid transit. We will innovate and invest in the safety of every resident in every corner of Cincinnati. We will stand up for our residents and make the hard decisions to secure our future, no matter what is happening outside our city limits. Now that we'll be together for another 4 years, I can start ending speeches with Shakespeare's quotes. What is a city but the people? We understand our strengths as a city, the assets we have, the advantages and opportunities that exist for us, but at the heart of it, the reason I know our best days are ahead of us is not because of any of that, but because we are a people here in Cincinnati who are unshakably invested in our home, at times defiantly proud, at times rightfully critical, but never giving up. Our future is bright because you are all here, because you choose Cincinnati no matter what lies ahead, and I can't wait to be here with you all, choosing us again and again and again. That's how we win. By charting a future course together, by continuing to bet on ourselves and bet on our city, by unambiguously and unapologetically fighting for a brighter future for not just some of us, but for all of us. That is our charge over the next 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you for attending Mayor Aftab's State of the City address.